What up, Marsh Pod? Welcome in. Friday before Saturday showcase reminder. This is the last day of our Monday, Wednesday, Friday week posting. Next week will be Monday and Friday. Quick little news for you. There's a storm a-brewing in the Gulf Coast of Florida, or Gulf of Mexico, off the Gulf Coast of Florida. So thoughts out to the folks that live on that side and in this great state of Florida. Great might be an exaggeration. Don't matter. What are we doing today? We are doing quick hit ranking Intrigue levels for the Saturday showcase. This is not ranking talent level. This is purely ranking my level of Intrigue for the 20 players that are playing on Saturday. We're going to go quick hit. Not necessarily going to show my work because this isn't middle school and you're not my math teacher and I don't want to show my work. This is just my level of Intrigue looking at the top 20 players. Again, not skill ranking. Cannot emphasize that enough. Number 20, and this is going to be a pretty common refrain from me on this one, and I'm not going to run from it. So here we go. 20, Viktoras Ilgauskas. Look, he's a big man that's known for his defense. I'm not expecting much. I don't expect him to factor into a lot of this game. I'm just not that interested in seeing him play in this one. I'm not interested, just not as interested. Number 19, Aaron Payne. You're hearing a trend here. That's two big men in a row because, again, big men in games like these don't necessarily show out, and they don't necessarily give us things that we don't normally see. Number 18, Tyrell Thompson. Boom, you guessed it, because he's a big man. Number 17, DJ Wagner. Why? Because we know what we're getting from DJ. We know consistently what we're going to get from DJ Wagner. I don't need to learn more. Number 16, Trey Hyman. I don't know that this type of game is meant for Trey Hyman from his skill set. He does a lot of great things, but I don't think how he plays in this game is necessarily going to change my opinion of him. 15, Lorenzo Phenom. Same exact thing. He's a big man. He's probably not going to get the ball a lot. I don't really care what he does because we kind of know what he does anyway. Dominic Bianco, 14. Inefficient scorer. That's what he is. If he has a great game with all these stars on the floor, I'm not going to think better or worse of him if he has a bad game. So he's 14. 13, Mackenzie Mbako. Why? Because he has shown a propensity to get lost. That doesn't really interest me, and I probably could have ranked him a little bit lower, but this kind of bottom 10 really kind of melds together. Mackenzie Mbako just kind of hangs out. He's not always the one to take over in games, and with a lot of big basketball personalities here, I think that's going to continue. 12, Caden Shipp. I think it's the same as above. See above for Mackenzie Mbako. Caden Shipp never really took over for Bay Area or Oakland the last 2 years. Could he do that here? Sure, maybe, but we kind of know that he doesn't tend to do that, so why would we suddenly expect that here? I'm not really interested in finding out. Again, interest level relative to the mean. Arthur Lattimore, he's number 11. I think he's a more interesting big man because he's not your traditional big, so I like to see what he does from a scoring perspective, but I'm not expecting him to just be getting the ball a ton. He's definitely a rim runner. He doesn't really stretch the floor, which is where another big man might kind of best him at. So that's why I'd put Arthur Lattimore Intrigue ranking number 11. So that's our first top 10, or our bottom 10. Viktoras Ilgauskas is 20. Aaron Payne is 19. Tyrell Thompson is 18. DJ Wagner 17. Trey Hyman 16. Lorenzo Phenom 15. Dominic Bianco 14, 13 Mackenzie Mbako, Dominic Bianco, those are tough ones back-to-back, huh? 12, Caden Shipp, and 11, Arthur Lattimore. So our top 10, here we go. Jace Miguez is my 10th most interesting player of this one. He's ball dominant, but that can be very tough to score in these games. There's not a lot of oxygen for guys that are ball dominant, and that's what Jace Miguez really is. He's a very ball-dominant guy. This might not be his forte. He could have a great game, and he could kind of take over. That would be interesting. Number 9, Japhett Towns. I think this is a good one for him because he's been the 6th best player all season. And these players didn't really vote for him to be that, right? We talked about this a couple weeks ago. Players didn't seem to have a ton of respect for him. So I would be interesting, and I'm not saying they didn't respect him, but comparative, again, relative to the rest of the players, just he didn't get a lot of player votes for this game. So if he has a great game, do players change their mind? If he's kind of frozen out of the offense, is that because players don't really like him? I'm interested to know what happens with the sideburns. Number 8, Nas Hall. He didn't play on a good Philadelphia team. He might have been the second best player on a non-race to 8 team. That's a bold proclamation, I know, but he might be. Can he fit in this game? There's a lot. Again, for these guards that are ball dominant, this game is not easy. So can he either fit in off ball, or can he dominate the ball to the point that players want to get him the ball back? Number 7, Tyson Simpson. Why is a big man ranked so high? Because he's going to face the toughest defense he's faced all season. And he's so good at the big man position that he should get the ball more. So if he does, how does he handle going up against consistently elite defenders on the other side of the paint? That's actually very interesting to me. Number 6, Justin Bell. Look, he's an elite wing. He's ball dominant, but he also gets it rolling off ball. I'm curious to see, does the chemistry that he developed with Lucas Banks, are we going to see that with some of these other wings or big men or guards? Because he certainly played really well against guys like with Ireland early Kenneth Gaffney. Guys that Gaffney kind of demanded the ball a little bit more. Ireland early was more off ball. I'm curious if he can carry that in here. Number 5, Benari James. He's an elite scorer. Maybe the most elite scorer in the league. I know that's a bold take, but I really think it could be true, and I think he might have been the number 1 player on a non-race to 8 team. Is he going to be able to do that? There are going to be layers of great defense in this game. You cannot hide him on defense either. So, and that's not to say he's not a good defender. I think he is, but he's never really been the point of attack for the other side. How does he handle this increased load? Number 4, Cole Webb. He might be that top 5 non-race to 1 player. Can he show out? Right? I'm not saying he can't, but can he? And if he does, how much does his stock get boosted heading into the offseason? Number 3, Trey Turner. Look, Trey has always been the guy that the ball is fed to. Every single game with Southeast Select, you knew Trey Turner was getting 16 shots, 8 of them were going to be from deep, and he was phenomenal at it. In this, again, not a lot of oxygen. So is he going to be able to be efficient and have a good game when there's a ton of other guys that want to get theirs and show out in Las Vegas? Number 2, LDO, Lace Darius Outlaw. Can he create and excel with others? We've seen him. If I could boil down what I've been talking about for the last couple minutes of guys that just need the ball and absorb the oxygen, LDO is that guy. Now, I'm not saying he's that guy because he wants to be. He was by default that guy for Best Coast Ballers. Can we see him be a little bit more facilitative? Can we see him operate off ball? Can we see him be efficient with the ball in a large group? That's going to be worth watching. And then the number 1 player, Gabe Pope. My man. What are we going to get from Gabe? Because his calling card is defense. This is not typically the type of game that lends itself to defense. He's coming off a game in which he was benched to close the game. I promise you, from 2 to 20, these dudes were not getting benched in the closing minutes of a championship game, and Gabe Pope was. How does he play? Can he be disruptive? Can he be an offensive feature? I don't know, but I cannot wait to find out. All right, we're back to the new schedule on Monday, Friday. Thank you for tuning in. Let me know who you're interested in, and we'll talk to you next week.